systems and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
Ronix Premium Quality.
Hello, good night, everyone. My name is Richard Jagasa, and I am your co-host tonight on Breaking Barriers, this week's episode, together with Uncle Nazim, who has joined us tonight once again. And we welcome you to our final episode this year, this side of the year. We'll be joining you again shortly in January, wishing you all a Merry Christmas. And joining in the Christmas fun, we have exciting news from Baraka Grounds Foundation. We'll be hosting a flea market starting the 20th to the 24th. And here we go, guys. Baraka Grounds Flea Market from Friday the 20th of December until Tuesday, 24th of December, Christmas Eve. Come one, come all, enjoy yourself. Toys, clothes, household items, and so much more.
Don't forget food.
And food.
We have the best food here. Secure parking. You could rest assured you come, you do your shopping. Nobody is going to interfere with your vehicle. So, and there's lots of stuff for the toys. Bring the children out for the vacation and let them have a good time.
Yes, and we do have a lot of things to do at Baraka Grounds, so we're excited to see you. I will be there, Uncle Nazim will be there, Zachary will be there, Brother Inshan will be there, Moody will be there. You know, just don't come Moody.
All right. Patus will be there. The whole Baraka crew will be there.
Yes, indeed. So we look forward to spending our Christmas time with you. Now, we had intended to do a
year in review.
To summarize the entire year. But so much has happened in the last week.
Never a dull moment.
This week alone feels like a year.
Kidnapping, murder, lies. I mean,
Dead by
lies.
fire.
I should have said lies first.
You should say lie, lie, and lie.
Lies first.
Lie, lie, and imbert.
Boy, we going through in this place. We going deeper and deeper every day. And you know, we have people in this country who say they care about this country. And they're so quiet. Now, I just want to chime in with one thing here. Now, we had one person who used to fight for the citizens of this country. Come what may. He used to fight for, whether it be Muslim, Hindu, Christian, everyone. And this is not tooting a horn because he's my brother. But that is in Shan. He always standing up for everything. He don't even have to know you. And we have the amount of things going on in this country. And people are so silent. So silent. I don't know if they're afraid to talk. So we have to somehow see if we could get the points out to the population. We mightn't be as good as Inshan bringing it out, but we might be better looking than him.
We have more hair on we head. We definitely have more hair. And on that note, let's dive straight into it. Straight into it. Now, we want to take a moment of silence because the death of anyone is heart-wrenching. Of course, we've mentioned that on the show before. The death of a minister is equally heart-wrenching. And we want to take a moment of silence for her and her family. Whatever has happened. Politics aside, on this show, we respect all.
Correct.
Having said that, having set aside politics and so on, and had the moment of silence, let's take a look at some of the imagery regarding or surrounding that event. No, guys, the video first. The video first, Saif.
You get taken the minute silent first. Let's take the minute silent first. Check your clock.
Yes. Oh, come back to me, please. Yes, let's have the minute of silence first.
Check your time.
All right. Yes, boss. All right.
Good to go.
And let's open with the video. Some horrific scenes.
It was a wooden structure or a wooden roof?
No, I think it was concrete. It was concrete.
Unfortunately, the intensity of the fire on the roof side. If it was a steel roof, you might not see so much of flames. But be it as it may, it's very tragic, especially with children, boy. You see children? I just feel it anytime anything happens to children. And two innocent children. Unfortunate for the mom too. But that's how life goes.
Yes, indeed.
And you are hearing so many conflicting stories.
Yes. And that's where we want to go.
Which shouldn't really be, but we have to bring out the facts as it is.
Exactly.
Because that is where the lies come in.
Yes.
That tie in the lies with it.
Yes, because according to some people on the site, for example, the person who took the video, there was no water on the scene. There was no water in the lines. According to, or rather in response to those persons, the Minister of Public Utilities, and therefore the line minister of WASA, Marvin Gonzalez, has issued a press release and said frontally there was water and he diverted water from one part of the area to another part of the area and all of that. So Marvin Gonzalez, there we go. Fire officers saying not enough to tackle blaze that killed minister and children. Gonzalez said it's not true. Resident supply is the problem. And this was in Wednesday's papers. And here we have a critical issue because we have the blame game starting again. In such a serious loss of life circumstance, Firefighters Union head on fatal Arima fire, minister and children could have been saved.
Look at that.
Imagine that.
And these are the experts who are saying that where firefighting is concerned. Eh?
Exactly. Saif, there's a video I sent you of a gentleman who was on the scene, the neighbor of the minister. Do you have that video? You can probably pull that video up while I make this point. What is happening is that the minister has come out once again to smoke screen and cast blame on others. And the TTFS, they are saying, listen, we don't have the resources to treat with this kind of situation. We need more resources.
But they have been clamoring for that years now.
Correct.
Only recently, remember when the fire truck turned the corner and the fireman was outside?
And he fell off?
Yes.
I remember. And not only that, but the truth of it is that you mentioned it earlier. Injan Ishmael is one of the persons who advocate for all rights. He was somebody who started to tackle this issue of lack of resources in the TTFS since last year.
Remember the wooden ladders?
Correct. Let's get the FOIA request that he sent. So it's a photo, guys. It's a photo that I sent. There we go. Let's zoom in a bit. So up to this point, and for those of you who could recall, he sent this after there was a similar circumstance situation of a gentleman in South and no fire truck was available to rescue the gentleman. And he asked for the breakdown of disbursements for repair of automotive services and so on. Essentially, the cost of brand new vehicles, essentially asking for what is the update on the fire trucks. Let's come back to me, please, and other resources. And as a result of this inquiry made by Injan Ishmael, what did we find out as a nation? That the country spent $1 million in unusable wooden ladders. Let's get that headline. It's a photo, guys, front page. I think it was Express. Fire truck fiasco. 20 unusable wooden ladders. Fire service, 1 million discarded. Come back to me. And the truth is, this was born from a previous call made by none other than Injan Ishmael about the lack of resources. And here we have again, a minister and her children died because of lack of resources. Fire officers do not have proper ladders, breathing apparatus, seat belt, because that guy went flying a couple of weeks ago, water, gas, nothing. They have nothing.
Fire hose leaking.
They have nothing. Look, the union head is saying they could have been saved. And of course, if one were to read the article, one would see that he's talking about if we had the resources. Imagine, in this case, in this scenario, we're hearing all sorts of stories, as Uncle Nazim said earlier. We're hearing all sorts of stories. We're hearing that the TTFS was at one fire site and they had to redirect.
Manuel Congo, I think they said the fire truck got a distress call and went to Manuel Congo. That is, I think it's on the main road closer to Alton Road side.
Right, and they only have one fire truck, so they had to redirect the fire truck to the minister's house. And then on one hand, we're hearing from the residents that they took too long to reach. The TTFS is saying they reach as soon as practicable. And we have to understand that these are cries for lack of resources.
But not only that, the misleading information, we don't know who to believe. Like, for instance, the minister said water was in the line at 4:30. Right?
Right.
Police report said the fire started at 5:30.
Right. So half an hour earlier.
That is almost an hour.
Sorry, an hour.
And the fire station received the call at 5:40. So how can the minister check 4:30 to see if the lines had water? when the fire didn't even start.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's this smoke screen that we were talking about. These are other articles. What the viewers are seeing are other aspects, areas of the TTFS are saying, we need resources before this happens again. Let's go back to the other article for a second, guys. The one you just had up. There we go. Union warns tragedy can strike again. They are telling us, imagine that. The fire service telling the country, listen, this can happen again, you know. We don't have the resources to manage 2 fires at once. Or even a fire without water. They don't have any water in the lines. That's what they're saying. Let's go back to you had another one for Princestown. Let's go back to that article. Again, it's an issue of resources. Corporation chairman repeats, call to reopen Princestown fire station. Princestown don't have a fire station.
With that nice chain link I seen in front there?
Yeah, they close it off. You didn't know about that? They close it off.
What is this, boy?
So this is a cry. This is a cry for resources. And understand where this comes from. This comes from the men and women who lay their lives out in the heat, in the flame, in the fire to rescue others. They are saying they lack equipment, they lack resources. Here they are saying the TTFS is on the brink of collapse with many stations lacking suitable trucks and essential personal protective equipment. They have nothing. You know who have? Rowley have $87,000 plus perks and what do you say? Perks and other allowances.
Add up together over 100,000.
You know what else the article quotes? Quotes the union. Despite repeated appeals for increased funding to address these shortages, the government's budgetary allocations have been insufficient. What they want us to do? Put money from we pocket and go by the fire station and drop boots for them? What they want the fire officers to do? Take money from their pocket and buy breathing apparatus? What they want us to do? Go by Wassa and have truck-borne water waiting by every street corner? What they want us to do to prevent loss of life?
Yes. Any life.
Any life.
Great concern.
Any life.
And I think if as you talk that budgetary cut, I think it was about 64% the fire services budget was cut. You know. You all correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 64% it was cut by. So if I'm correct, check that large amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, they had to make room for the back pay that they know was coming. They had to get the money from somewhere. And this is a serious issue. Because, as we've said, we saw this coming. None more than Mr. Ishmael himself saw this coming and began asking about the funding relevant to TTFS resources. As it turns out, 1 million in unusable ladders. There's a report from a TTFS officer, and I think that report was public. I'm not sure. I think we showed it on this show. Well, Inshan showed it on the show. Saying, from a TTFS officer, saying that the ladders are unusable. The ladders need to be retrofitted to meet UK and British standards. These ladders fit US standards, which we do not adhere to. If anything at all, they fit US standards. And they do not match our needs, our electrical poles and so on. The ladders are not fit and equipped for this situation, for our nation. And it is this kind of negligence, this don't care attitude, this don't care about you attitude that the PNM has. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Look, in one article, the chief fire officer, it's referred to House of Horrors. TTFS stations as referred to as House of Horrors. And it's ridiculous. It quotes it as having asbestos, the ceiling is falling down, dilapidated building, bathroom unusable, toilet facilities, they have to go by the neighbor, non-functional lights, air conditioning units, and so on, non-functional air conditioning units. But they put new air conditioning in Balize House the other day, though.
What do you mean?
So,
what do you mean?
They just don't care.
So they couldn't get their financiers to finance a little AC and a little paint job for the
I don't know. They want the fire service to have barbecue and curry queue.
Well, the man already said his legacy is when he leave here, he finished Balizi House, you know. That is his legacy, you know. There is nothing else that this man do. Nothing else. Balizi House will be finished. So they go put a big picture a rolling in front.
Yeah, you know, to hear officers say the minister's children could have been saved. To hear them say that they could have been, you know what he's saying? You know what he's saying? You could zoom in, guys, but you do have it. You know what he's saying? It's sad. He's saying this loss of life could have been prevented. If we had water in the lines, or another fire truck that was available, these deaths could have been prevented.
But just check the amount of fire stations that don't have fire trucks. And like an area in Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz fire station, that by the roundabout right there.
Yes.
That station don't have a fire truck. You could imagine what could happen if a fire takes place in Santa Cruz. Check the terrain you have to traverse before you go up there.
It's ridiculous, you know. And these things happen. These are just a way of life. We showed you the fire. It could happen to anybody. It could happen to anybody. And the fire service, they're warning us. This could happen again. This could happen again. So I think we could take our first break.
Yeah, short break and come back and
deal with some other issues.
Start to deal with some issues, some sickening issues.
Yeah. So Gonzalez, I think you have to be careful when you call people liars. You have to be careful when you call people, when you say that the TTFS is lying, the residents are lying, and so on. And I think an investigation has to be done into why there was not enough resources available to TTFS, namely a fire truck, and why there wasn't water in the lines that could have assisted the officers who were on the scene. A thorough investigation needs to be done. And Gonzalez, I think you have to be careful. When we come back, I will get the video of the gentleman who is the neighbor, and we will play that at the start, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Let's take our first break, guys.
The power. To shatter the strongest. Conquer the indestructible with Ronex's collection of angle grinders.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 4808715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canupia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Ronex's premium quality.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVRF systems, and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
Chime in on that, all right.
Yes, guys, welcome back. And I was just saying that Gonzalez has to be very careful. Minister Gonzalez has to be very careful because he sits on a throne, Minister of Public Utilities throne, and blames everyone else, calls everyone else a liar, says that there was water in the line and the TTFS are misguided, calls the residents misguided. He should be fired. He should be dismissed. He should be removed from our MP the same way they do Hines. The same way they move out Hines because he was a non-performer. Same way they must do Gonzalez, equally a non-performer. How you could have a loss of life of innocent children, and then say everybody is lying? Look at this resident. Look at...
Is my neighbor. We born and go together as family. Because sister now coming here. We had a little problem yesterday with the fire. We tried to out it. The neighbor power washer. And when we open the water, no water. That was 5 o'clock in the morning. They said, then the minister come and said that water in the water has come here all 9, 10 and 2 and 3 o'clock in the evening. Water gone. So we just got plenty problem because in the corner there have a fire hydrant in the Brazil Calparo Pakistan. There have a fire hydrant there, and then in the next corner there have a fire hydrant. Since I small and we grow here, I never see that fire hydrant open. So come minister, they act together because I live and born and grow here. I born and grow here, and all of we play marbles. Everybody we play one love here in the street. We do no quarrel, no fighting, nothing. See that everyone going there? Why they have to answer to God or somebody, they have to answer to, you know, because that lady, now boy. Nah, can't take us over. Can't take us over because all of you born and go together. And the problem is water, boy, water. And we want fracture. And he got man of Congo yesterday, and that no truck coming. That truck had to come from Tunapuna to come up Arima. And that house, because that house there is a family house. Everybody welcome in the house. Everybody welcome in the house. From children, grow up, everybody. See that?
Yes, and I sent you another photo. I sent you the release, the press release the minister issued. Let me know when you have it. And what it says, the Honorable Marvin Gonzalez wants to clarify that at no point during the incident was there lack of water pressure or the availability of water in general. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Eyewitness report.
Imagine. No, but Gonzalez say here. Gonzalez call the man a liar. Gonzalez call the TTFS a liar. Gonzalez call all the residents liars. Honorable Marvin, use state resources, use public servant time, use everybody energy to issue a press release to call people liars in this fiasco. Honorable Minister Marvin Gonzalez wants to clarify that at no point during the incident was there lack of water or the availability of water in general. The spinning of the story. Come now, man, Gonzalez. Listen. If it's too hot for your hair, imagine how it feeling for them fellas. But if it's too hot for your hair, but resign now, boy, and go back where it was. Resign. This is too much for you. Clearly, you can't handle this. You can't handle it. You had to clarify. You had to issue what's going on? What's really going on with you, boy? Come now, man. Resign from minister, resign from MP, and do us all a favor. This is clearly too much for you. What do you say?
Why? Not only Marvin Gonzalez. When I watched the videos that were being aired, just imagine lazy man reach up there. Lazy man reach up there 5 o'clock. I think that is what they said. That Rowley, lazy man. Out of everybody. He reach up there first. And the rest of them, I never see so much cabinet ministers at one place. You have murders taking place in South. The divers. How many ministers went and at least give a little sympathy to the divers, the wives of the divers? How many of them?
Yeah.
You have murders taking place. Amina Mohammed, who was recently murdered. You hear anybody say anything? It look like it's only when somebody who is affiliated with the PNM, there is an influx of big Sawatis coming. That is what we actually seeing.
Yes.
So the inequality continues to happen, and people, you all have to see through this government, you know.
Yeah, all of us are equal, but some are more equal than others.
We come back to the animal
Coming
farm
back
again.
to- well, we live in an animal farm, for sure. And another example of that, you mentioned it earlier, is the exhaustive crime rate. That what number we at? We crossed 600 yet?
Yes, yes.
We were at 550.
We crossed 600.
We crossed 600.
And we had to add all the people, all the persons who are missing.
Yes.
Because nobody's found. You don't know if they die, where they're going. So that have to kind of be added to the list.
Yes, of course.
Until we get closer to the to what happened, whether they come back alive or not.
Yes.
I'm glad they come back alive. But we looking with everything that taken place, we could be about 625 by now. Or more.
Yeah, the real figure. I know there was an issue last week where the TTPS said one figure and Express said another figure, and nobody could seem to correlate. It doesn't matter, you know, the figure climbing, you know.
Anyhow you take
The
it.
figure climbing.
We a little over half of the month. We still have some days to go. So we could probably reach about 630.
It's a sad state of
Safely.
affairs. Sad state of affairs, boy. Sad state of affairs. Murder and death at any level. Sad state of affairs. Kidnapping at any level. House breaking at any level. Sad state of affairs. This week, a little boy, a 14-year-old boy, was kidnapped. Everybody knows this stretch. Everybody knows this stretch opposite Massey there.
Right.
The plant
St.
shop
Augustine.
in St. Augustine, yes. Anybody who goes, we knows, trying to get away from the traffic, pass here. Look at this.
Well-
Zahir Samuel, little boy, they snatched off. Do we have the video, guys? Let's play the video. This happened only in the wee hours this morning.
This morning, around 5:30.
5:30 this
Well,
morning.
they take the little boy because they know the parents once I ran a little bit. Let's watch the video first. Place still dark.
5:30 in the morning. Yeah. Snatched the boy from in front of the store.
Next week is the birthday. Going to St. George's.
Watch. The man threw a pot behind the vehicle. That is the state we reach. You can't close. You have to watch when you're closing your business. You have to watch when you're opening your business.
Imagine that. For those of you who do not know, for the story that's too fresh for anybody who may not have seen it, this is a young 14-year-old boy, a St. George's student, went with his mother and father. They own the plant shop opposite Massey in St. Augustine. Everybody knows the plant shop. And they went to open it at 5:30 in the morning. Imagine that. You're working hard.
Sacrifice and look at the wee hour of the morning.
5:30 in the morning, and your 14-year-old boy going with you to spend the day in the shop and sell and make ends meet and so on. And you kidnap the boy? What kind of beast are you to kidnap a 14-year-old boy? What has he ever done? What could possibly be invested in you? What spirit could take hold of you to snatch a 14-year-old boy from his mother and father in the wee hours of the morning like that? What could he, as St. George's student, look, uncle now say, next week is his birthday? Next week he would have been 15. He would be 15. He would be 15 because he would be alive and returned.
That is why I want to come back to this so-called criminologist who said that central business people crying wolf because they borrow money from drug dealers and they can't pay back.
What's his name? Fiera.
Yeah, Darius Figueroa, so-called criminologist. I would want to ask this so-called criminologist, where is the empirical evidence
Yes.
that you have to show that central business people, which means to say you broad brush the whole of central business people, that they take money from drug dealers and they extorting money from them now because they don't want to pay back. Where is the evidence?
I want to see
if
his
you
qualifications
cannot
too.
show that evidence, brother man,
Retract your statement.
and as a matter of fact, I'm going a little bolder. Let me see what kind of qualifications you have as a criminologist.
Yeah, you're calling yourself criminal.
Let me see what qualifications. Put it in the papers.
Anybody could say anything, you know. Anybody could call
Let
themselves
the
anything.
reporters ask him what qualifications he has to call himself a criminologist.
Yes.
Now, look, this incident happened here. Now,
St. Augustine.
is it that the bandits, this guy here,
The beasts, not the bandits.
this guy here, if as he broad brushing businesses and things happening to businesses, right? Is it that these people borrow money from drug dealers now and they're trying to get back at them? The way you broad brush everything?
Yeah. People are just
Once
say,
you're in business and they come in and robbing you, kidnapping you, is it that you fall in that category?
Yeah. Let's go to, you know, the father gave an interview today and the father has one wish for Christmas. It's a video, guys. I sent it to you all. And let's have the video played because I can't, yeah, let's go.
To release back my son. You know what I mean? Because we have no money. And my son is a good boy. He's going to St. George's. And I'm very glad you could release my son. That I could spend a good Christmas. He could spend a good Christmas with us. Because I don't know what drama. When we get him back, what will happen? And because you put 2 guns at the man, the little boy, inside that vehicle. I really, Allah alone had to see, brother, to save me. And I hope they could send him safe and strong for me. I'm most glad, I will be real glad, and I can make a nice Christmas. I will make my Christmas. Send my son home for me.
You know, look at, boy, what that boy could have ever done anybody, what that family could have ever done anybody, whatever, if you happen to have a grouse with the family, that can't affect the boy. I'm not saying you do,
Right.
I'm not saying you do. But if you happen to, that can't affect the boy. 14-year-old boy, St. George, going with his mommy and daddy with a plant shop. Boy, what could possibly take you? What could possibly be in your mind, your heart, your soul, if you have one, to take that little boy, to snatch the boy from his parents? Look at uncle. Look at uncle. This is beyond comprehension. And it is people like you, people like kidnappers like them, people like them, that we have to move quickly and swiftly through the criminal justice system. Quickly and swiftly, with a commissioner of police who knows what they're doing, with a minister of national security who knows what they're doing, with an attorney general who knows what he's doing, and put the criminals where they need to be, either in the ground or behind bars.
Well, you see, that is why the bandits doing what they want with impunity. They're not holding anybody. Nobody is being held. Look, guys, we have the next video with Zahir from Bamboo Number 1.
Another kidnapping in recent days.
Right.
Look at this.
What's this next
For those
video
of you who do not know, this is Bamboo Number 1.
Yeah.
Bamboo Number 1. Uncle Zahir is 71 years old.
70.
70 years old.
Watch. An old man, they dragging.
He was hosing out the yard.
A worker was using the fire hose, and when his back was turned, and when he turned around and he saw what happened, he dropped the hose. And he take off because he said they fired a shot. Now, fortunately, they got him back safely.
Yes.
Fortunately.
In broad daylight. I wanted to point that out. In broad daylight. 5:30 in the morning, broad daylight, early afternoon. It does not matter. The criminals own the streets. The criminals own the homes. And the police are doing little to nothing about it. But put some tints on your car, huh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was told today, police stopping and have people ripping out tint.
Put tint on your car, huh? Put tint on your car, huh?
And police getting away with things too. Look at a deputy commissioner of police. Got away, no insufficient evidence on a dangerous driving incident.
DPP drops case, dangerous driving charge against deputy commissioner. DPP drops case. Yes. Now, keeping on the point of crime, you see this issue of extortion. You mentioned earlier. You see this issue of extortion. Let me tell you something. There's a whole extortion unit. You know how much people they charge and how much charges get dismissed so far, and we will do those statistics.
But who heading the extortion unit?
See you? The same person Justice Sipasa talk about in that judgment.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, in this day and age, I wish to say anybody have issues, kidnapping, extortion, ransom, anything like that, go to the unit and make a report. Don't stop there. Go to the station, make the report. Don't stop there. Go to the commissioner of police, make the report. Go to the deputy commissioner of police, make the report, and then send an FOIA to find out what's the delay in laying the charge.
Correct.
Do that. This issue of crime, and we want to spend some time on this. We've shown you a 14-year-old boy getting kidnapped. We've shown you Uncle Zahir getting kidnapped. And let's show you another incident of crime again. I think we have, do we have a video of...
You see this one, 68-year-old pensioner, beaten, robbed, and murdered.
You know, I'm now watching something, eh? Is it an attack on the Islamic community? Because this is Amina Mohammed. We have Zahir, Uncle Zahir,
right?
And then the 14-year-old boy is also named Zahir, you know.
I don't know if he is Muslim.
I don't know if he's Muslim,
but he is Muslim.
But yes. So that's what I'm saying. Is it that they're going through a list?
Right.
Is it and they're an A's?
But this woman, 68-year-old, what could come? All right, you rob the people. You rob the people. Oh God, but to murder the woman?
Yes.
These people, they're sick in the head, boy. They're real sick.
Beasts, I call them. Beasts, I call them.
Yeah, I suspect while she was in the room with the bandits, she probably recognized one of them. She have to recognize one.
Yes.
And dead men tell no tales.
Yeah, you could bring up back the article. You could zoom in on Auntie Mohammed's face.
Right.
Just 2 days after Mina Mohammed, 68, was murdered during a home invasion in Kuva, a home invasion, eh? Another elderly citizen has been attacked by bandits in his home. Another house breaking, eh? That's the point we're trying to make here, guys. Crime is rampant. The 78-year-old retiree of Pinal was beaten and robbed during the home invasion on Monday. According to reports, the retiree was sitting in his garage 2:30, and that's where I got it from. That's where I got the early afternoon point from. It doesn't matter, 5:30 in the morning, early afternoon, middle of the day.
While you're sleeping.
While they're sleeping, while they're waking, while they're in the yard. They beat him, causing an injury to his head. Suspects bound his hands and took him into the house to a bedroom. They then ransacked the house and stole a quantity of jewelry and $600. $600? $600? The elderly man managed to untie himself and sought assistance. You come back to me now. And this is the environment we live in. Crime is rampant. Murders, kidnapping, house breaking and entering. And you cannot put a dollar value on life. So whatever resources you have to pump into the TTPS, I don't know where it's going. But it's not getting to the citizens. It's not reaching homes. It's not getting us safer than we were before. Murder is rampant. House breaking is on the rise. Kidnapping is on the incline. And so is Rowley's pension and back pay.
You know, I don't know. So sometimes I just sit here and wonder.
Yes. And there's a video I wanted to play. You have a video, guys? Saif, it's the one that we're just going to use the end of it because the beginning was so distasteful. So distasteful. I thought Saif was going to knock me down earlier. He said we can't use that video at all, you know.
Yes, you have it.
In this video, before we play it, in this video, this is an individual you've introduced before.
Oh,
it's an individual you've introduced
I know who
before.
it is. Okay.
Calling for more crime. Imagine that. Play the video.
We're supposed to be taking it to them. We're supposed to jump over the fence, run up inside of the house, hold them, and deal with them seriously.
Great.
No, you see that video? That is exactly what is happening in this country right now.
So after After that, that video was dated earlier this year.
No, that's an old video that happened a couple of years now.
That happened a couple of years now?
Yes.
It just resurfaced?
It came out back. That happened years now, and I think that lovely woman there, you know that lovely, that good-looking woman there?
I tell you, Zaif didn't tell me too ugly to play.
Saif, next time you put in them video, put a disclaimer or something that who have heart problems and all them things, don't watch the TV, please. Now, I don't think she's working in a particular radio station again.
No, but that has nothing to do with the radio station.
No.
That was posted on
individual.
Correct.
Individual.
Correct. And we're not targeting any radio station, TV station. That is the individual's personal social media page.
Yes.
That's where I got it from.
And a national disgrace. And exactly what she said is exactly what is going on.
How? In what world you live in where you call for more crime? You call for people to run up in people's house, jump over the fence, deal with them? What kind of language is that?
Who them she talking about?
Well, they didn't want me to play the first part of the video, but it was race.
Exactly.
She talking about race.
But you can't talk that, you know. I can't talk that, you know.
Openly said, run up in East Indian. For those of you who know the first part of the video, she talks about East Indians wearing sari and walking in the streets and so on.
With slippers and things.
With slippers and so on, right? And then she says, she makes the comment.
With lice in the head.
Yes. Yeah. It's like, you're sure we can't play the first part of the video? It's like, he tell him no. If you come in here and he go take my tea or something just now.
Boy, I tell you.
In no world, look at us here. Look at us here. We respect all lives. We're looking at the criminal element and we're calling for the criminal element to be placed behind bars and justice to be dealt with swiftly. But she there calling for more crime.
But isn't there a correlation with crime and PNM? Anytime this government is in power, there's an increase in crime.
There's an increase in murders, housebreaking, and kidnapping.
I don't have to be a criminologist to say that.
Yes.
Those are the facts.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. The lowest crime rate in recent history was in 2020.
That wasn't Mr. Bastille Pandey.
11 to in all history was Bastille Pandey. Yes. But the lowest crime in recent history was when Jack Warner was Minister of National Security between 2010 to 2013. I think it was 2011 to 2013. And I think Commissioner Gibbs was commissioner. And then after that, the only slight decrease we had in crime was when Gary Griffith was commissioner.
Yes, during this going to 10-year period.
Yes, correct.
And as he was removed, the bandit get free road.
Yes.
Free road.
Yes.
Because we people in power, we move out Gary.
Yeah.
And what the cartoon character name?
Ulysses. You know, and you see what we just did there? We recognize success, you know. We recognize success and betterment, as little as it was. It's just a decrease in crime. We recognize it. And we don't call for people to run up in people's house.
The people felt so much safer. No. Burglar proof right wrong your house.
Yeah. Electric
right
fence.
Wrong. Yes, electric fence.
Some article I read where somebody said the burglar proof is not enough. They come in with pig foot and they're pricing it open.
You can't talk that in the station.
And now you have to put an electric fence. But when I read the article, I think I made a note somewhere. First, what is the electricity bill when you put that fence in? And what happens if electricity goes? You know, I wanted to investigate those things, but imagine that.
It might have a power bank, eh?
But for how long?
Yes.
How long? How long? Because if you're fencing your entire property, you have one lot of land and it goes around your entire perimeter, then how long will a battery pack work? And then what if the criminal becomes aware of how to cut the battery pack? So these are serious. Imagine that. We're living in cages in our own homes. So the crime in this country is running rampant and will only get worse. Every sector of this society is failing. Every sector of society is failing, and now it has hit home. The lack of resources in TTFS has resulted in the death of a minister and children. The lack of resources in TTPS continue to result in murders and housebreaking and kidnapping to increase.
And you see, Christmas, people want their ham, they want their lamb, they want their grog. Mm-hmm. And you could be driving and you don't see a police vehicle.
No.
Where are all the police vehicles?
In road
you don't see no police presence on the road. you will see police stopping you for tint,
Correct.
causing one set of congestion.
Correct. One set of demerit points they're focusing on. One set of demerit points.
You see in my area on a morning, it have a good officer there. In Trin City by the roundabout, a good officer. He just pull your slack one time. But he have what you call, he just uses discretion. And you see some of these officers don't know how to do that. Because you could see somebody, okay, people just make mistake. You could just be coming out, because you run about right by me there, coming out, you might just forget to put on your seatbelt from there to there. A policeman will ask you, he will talk to you. Some of them will hit your ticket straight, regardless of the consequences.
Yeah, them just happy.
Like if they give you a ticket, that will enhance their chances of getting a promotion. Things like that. You could talk to people, because everybody going through so much of stress now. So much of stress. And the slightest little thing, ticket now is over $1,000.
Yeah,
Over
and the demerit
$1,000.
points. And the demerit points.
Really ridiculous. I ain't encouraging nobody to break the law. The law is the law. But you could, you could give people a blind sometime. Look how more police officers getting blind. Look, the deputy commissioner of police, she get a blind. So who is me and you?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's time we want to take our second break. We come back and deal with the final issue. I see it's
Very
being called
important
for.
issue.
I see
This one?
It's all over social media. As we are here discussing other issues, they are asking for it. So we will deliver.
That coming up?
It's coming.
Stand by. That coming up?
Yes. Let's go to our second break, guys.
The power. To shatter the strongest. Conquer the indestructible with Ronex's collection of angle grinders.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high quality bromate free, all purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 4808-715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Ronex's premium quality.
Mitsu Air Limited, authorized Mitsubishi air conditioning dealer. No need to replace your air conditioning units ever so often. Split units, cassette, ductable, CTVIF systems and much more. Mitsubishi Electric has long been powering industries and providing solutions for healthy living. Mitsu Air Limited boasts the industry's first 10-year warranty on all parts and labor. Inverter units are also available. Don't hear it, just feel it. Mitsu Air Limited, 246 Eastern Main Road, Barataria. Give us a call at 674-4000 or 675-4000 or email us at mitsu.limited@gmail.com.
At Extra Foods, we care for you. That's why we always have the widest variety, the best prices, spacious aisles of total convenience, plus clean, safe surroundings. Let us care for you. Extra foods, always extra for less.
She bossy man.
Yeah, and here we go. Uncle Nazim was talking about this DPP drops case. That's a case against Deputy Commissioner of Police Suzette Martin. Do we have it, guys?
Yeah, we didn't. We had a photo of the DCP. Yes, this is the DCP here. Dangerous driving charge dropped against DCP Suzette Martin. So you see, police, 7 officers were discharged in Grandi.
Yes. The for extortion.
5 in Port of Spain. Insufficient evidence.
Yes.
And now we have a DCP. Like it paying to be a police.
The magistrate says,
nobody could touch you. You're untouchable.
The magistrate says we are all aware of why we are here today. A notice of discontinuance was filed. That's what you file in court to discontinue the matter. It needed to be amended. It was done. I have it before me. So all that is left is for me to do is to formally dismiss the matter. She added, the court having seen the notice of discontinuance, the matter against Suzette Martin that was filed on the 16th of December 2024. That is just the other day. 16th of December.
So the DPP who give the all clear to discontinue?
The DPP discontinued the matter. Yes, file the discontinuance. File the discontinuance. And I was looking for the quote from her team of lawyers. I think they said that she was charged in exceptionally questionable circumstances. I was looking for that quote.
Well, that is something we had to
highlight.
Exactly. Questionable circumstances.
Yes, indeed. Now we get to the critical issue of the night.
Yes, it is.
Let's pull up this article, guys. Let's pull it up. There we go. This is, of course, Wednesday, December the 18th story. This morning, this is of course covering something that was said on Monday. So because of course this week had some changes. Today had some changes to this. So we'll get to it. Kamala warns pension at risk in new government bill. The minister defends the plan, says it will help protect elderly, and I want to point that out very carefully. She defends the plan. She defends the plan. Between Monday and this morning, she defends the plan. The government is planning to introduce legislation that will change and in some cases disqualify elderly people who reach the age of 65 from accessing the senior citizens pension. Opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessar is warning citizens. On December 9th, a bill titled Miscellaneous Provisions, Senior Citizens Pension and Public Assistance Bill 2024 was laid in Parliament. That's very important. It means it passed all of its consultations, it passed Cabinet, it passed the AG's office, it passed the drafting office. A lot of steps, a lot of persons had eyes on it, and then it finally was laid in Parliament. A major amendment is being proposed in the bill, which disqualifies persons with savings in the bank exceeding 25,000 from accessing the old age pension.
25,000?
Yeah, that is quarter. Your whole savings is 25. You can't get old age pension. 25,000 is quarter what Rowley makes a month. Right? Section 4G of the bill states, well, I have to say stated, and we'll get to why in a minute.
You sure it's not section 34 you just said?
4G.
Oh.
4G.
I thought you said section 34.
The G is for gullible. The G is for gullible.
I thought it was the next section 34.
It goes on to say, an individual shall not be eligible to receive a pension unless he has savings not exceeding $25,000. That's fancy lawyer talk for if you have $25,000 in the bank, in your name. Doesn't matter if it's a joint account or what. You can't get old age pension.
Forget 25,000. No, right? Forget that figure. You're 60 years.
You finally qualify.
Right? 60 years. You're waiting your 5 years now.
Yes.
You grow up your children, you spend so much money on them to give them the education and thing. And you know children tend to give back to the parents.
Yes.
So your children decide to give back to you. And you decide to put it in the bank for your medical bills, whatsoever.
Yeah. Or you have a son, and the son say, well, daddy, in case I'm flying out and something should happen, hold this in case you have an emergency, something break in the house, you need to fix it. Hold some money in your account. I flying out my credit cards. You hold some money in your account.
Right.
Yeah. Fella,
so let me say now, that is why 25,000 at this time is a pittance. So you save that now, and you have, let me say, 100 or a little over 100,000, because you're very prudent in how you spend or you save your money.
Correct.
So this government is telling you now $25,000, and you reach the age of 65 and you qualify for old age pension, you're not entitled to it?
That's what they're saying. Well, they were saying it this morning, but we'll get to it. We're taking you step by step. They were saying it up until this morning. Up until this afternoon, I think the press conference was after 4. Now that is a valid point, because I have a relative, aunt, call her Auntie Minty. Auntie Minty said, we are the kind of people, we eat with roti and bhaji, with roti and butter. We save.
Right.
We save. We save. And then you come now, you reach 60, which is the point you make, and you can't get old age pension because you save? You're being punished because you save? You're being punished because you have some in the bank for a rainy day? Speaking at the United National Congress cottage meeting at its headquarters, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar says that bill will make it harder for pensioners and persons getting public assistance to access those grants. That's other grants. They are monitoring how much money you have in the bank. That is what they are going to do. That's what the bill is telling us. And I want to just quote this so I don't have to come back to the article. But Donna Cox says, the point about it is that the pension is for the poor people. It have people who do not have $1,000 in the bank. That is who the pension is for. Pension is not for people receiving money elsewhere, somewhere. If you have a whole set of money in the bank, why do you need a pension? She's saying that, right? She's saying that. So now, let's play the video, and then we'll get to this. Let's play the video that we have.
Will make it harder for pensioners and persons getting public assistance to access it, to access those grants. They're monitoring how much money you have in the bank. That's what they're going to do. That's what this bill is telling us.
But the Social Development Minister said such measures are necessary to ensure people do not abuse the system. Donna Cox told CNC3 News they have to block loopholes where people who own businesses or those with a lot of money transfer their assets to relatives in order to apply for the old age pension. Minister Cox said the senior citizens pension is a grant for the poor and vulnerable, and these amendments will ensure that the people who need it
get it. That's the end of that quote. So understand what is happening. Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, leader of the opposition, bust the mark, as we say. Bust the mark on Monday. They come in to take away your pension if you have more than 25K in the bank. Donna Cox, the minister, defends the bill vehemently, says at the forefront, says this is what the bill is supposed to do. We do not want the bill to go to persons who have money in the bank. We want the money to go to these people instead. She defends the bill strongly. She defends the bill, and then today comes and retracts her statement, and the bill is now withdrawn. The bill, you know that? The bill and the clause is now withdrawn and will be laid without the clause. And that is the power. That is the power of the opposition. That is power of we the people. We the people called for that to be rectified. We the people were all in arms and uproar over this situation, while you getting $87,000 and 150 million in back pay.
1 million.
1 million in back pay. It was 150 in all for all of the persons and so on. While you doing all of that for yourself, you check yourself between Monday and now, you check yourself, you check the election date, and you say, oh God, now I can't lose all them old people votes, all them pensioners votes, all them retirees, and you check yourself, and you come today now to withdraw the clause, but hold on, it might come back, eh? It might come back.
Not might. If all you do, take God out all your thoughts. If the PNM come back in power, they're going to come back with that bill.
The same way they say.
They're going to come back.
The same way they talk about property tax and they bring it.
Property tax.
And they bring it. The same way, oh, they're not going to increase gas price again, and they bring it. The same way they say they're removing the $25,000 cap on this pension grant. Same way they will bring it back again. if you put God out of your thoughts. So they watch themselves, they check themselves, and they had a press conference this afternoon with the Attorney General, who now fly back in the country, apparently. And this is what he has to say. Saif, the 3 videos, the 3 snippets from the 1 video, starting with the Minister Cox's statement, that's a short video, at 1 minute 47 seconds. Let's get that first, please.
Today, we normally have cabinet on a Thursday, but we had cabinet today, and we discussed the note. And at cabinet today, in discussing the note, I wish to affirm that it is not, and it never was, cabinet's intention to affect the savings of our elderly at all.
Pause. Bring back up the statement from the article, the one where you had the split screen, Donna Cox on one side and the article on the other.
Right.
The pension is not for abuse because it's taxpayer money. Let's just go straight down. There are many persons who live on their pension because they have never worked in their life. Somebody make sense of this for me, please. She defends it Monday and Tuesday. No, Tuesday. I think this is Tuesday. She defends it yesterday. And then comes now to backpedal. Somebody make sense of the PNM for me, please.
But hear this. Remember in your initial statement you said that all the processes were followed, right?
Yes.
Before
it reached Parliament.
Right. Was lazy man in those meetings? He have to be part and parcel of it.
Well, just now,
Rowley.
Oh God, I like where your head is at. Let's get the other video, the second video, Saif, the 13-minute, 44-second marker one. Let's get
as Attorney General. And for that reason, I'm withdrawing the bill to bring it back with the part that impacts pensioners whose $25,000 savings have been affected, that is being removed.
Any discussion in the future about putting...
Pause it and come back to me. That is the power the people have.
And we could do so much.
That is the power of the people. When Kamala Prasad-Bissessar bust this mark on Monday, it took us 24 hours to shake them up and force them to remove the clause from the bill. That is success. That is the power of the opposition. A strong opposition, a strong united citizenry could ask for betterment at every level. And I make this point last night, I lead this segment last night to say we could demand better of the police the same way. We could demand better of the fire service the same way. We could demand better of Sleepy and Liar, Sneezy and Wheezy, if we so desire.
And don't forget Forgetful Jones.
And Forgetful Jones. We have shown time and time again, we have shown that united after this mark burst in 24 hours, after Kamala Prasad-Bissessar made these statements in Monday Night Forum, in 24 hours, we changed the legislation. We forced them to change the bill, and now the bill will be presented to Parliament without this clause. Let's continue to play the bill. You call him what?
That has been removed.
Any discussion in the future about putting back any cap, maybe a higher cap? Because, in all fairness, when we spoke to the TTRP, they fully understood the reason for a cap. They just didn't agree that threshold should be so low that it should be 25,000. They couldn't give an answer because they were trying to figure out how you even came up with 25,000. But they agreed with the cap. So any...
And let's get the last video. Let's just get the last video there.
A rough few hours trying to digest that. Anything you'd like to let them know?
Why would you say a rough few hours? I don't see it as a rough few hours. Why would you say a rough few hours?
There are a lot of public discourse about it. Just go on social media and then you know, the comments for these stories that people go really up in arms about it. Do you feel like you owe the country an apology for that?
I take responsibility for the fact that the bill that is before Parliament has an error. I'm withdrawing.
Error. Error. That's what you wanted to start off with.
It went through all the process.
With an error. No, man. No. Do not try to pull wool over the eyes of the citizenry, because it has to pass through all of these arms. It has to pass through all of these people. And in that press conference, the Attorney General says some public servant put it in.
A public
servant put it in. And after, I think he says, the 11th of November, I think was the date, After the public servant allegedly put it in, I don't know which public servant want to take away their own pension. I have no idea who he thinks will believe that, but fine. After that was inserted, it did go to cabinet for approval.
And remember, Rowley always say the buck stops with him.
Yes.
But now we're saying he was out of the country.
Yes. Yes, and the AG is saying he's out of the country. Look at the date here. The 21st of November, 2024, it got cabinet approval to move forward. At that time, it already had the clause in it. It already had the 25,000 cap clause in it. He said a public servant put it in before. A public servant put it in before it came to cabinet. So cabinet, all of those ministers, all of those, recuse or don't recuse, all of those ministers, all of them had sight of it, read it. The Office of the Attorney General read it, digested it. The Attorney General himself, he says in the press conference, he says he read it, and the bill was laid in Parliament. So he passed all of those people. And now he wants to come in his press conference and say an error?
Error.
An error? So what somebody do? Somebody type it by mistake? Somebody type this language by mistake. An individual shall not be eligible to receive a pension unless he has savings not exceeding $25,000. That's an error? That's an error. The only thing is an error is Donna Cox's hairspray. That had a fix.
Hairspray?
What do you think she's using? It looked like a bird crawling at her and beaten up.
I ain't going
What error? What error it have in this bill? That's not error. That's an intentional dive into the old pensioners' pocket. You try to take away money from them. People can't live on the pension. People cannot live on pension. If they get a little extra money from their children who they struggle to send to school, you want to take away the pension? I find Rowley should take away his own pension. I find Rowley should reduce his own pension.
No. On the same issue, I just want to just digress a little bit here. Now, the property tax. This, people already catching the NNN. If that bill wasn't retracted, you could imagine the trauma pensioners would have been going through. And on top of that, look, I have to pay my property tax by Friday, right? Friday 20th.
Right.
I don't think we get no extension.
I don't know. Imbert is a man who they say
but
he don't know.
Nobody never came and assessed my property. So I want to ask a question. Anybody who dealing with property tax, nobody came and assessed my property. I did submit an incomplete form. And I know the reason for doing that. I intentionally did that. Because remember, Short Midget said that there will be there'll be a fine of $5,000 if you don't file your property tax.
Right.
So stupid me went and full it, but I didn't full it completely because I intentionally did it. Now Ministry of Finance called me and I told them that yes, I know I sent an incomplete form because I want you all to come and do your work. Send your people to come and assess my property. I'm not assessing my property for you all. Come and assess it. No one came by me. No one. But I got an assessment for over $2,000 a year. And I have a 3-bedroom HCL house. And I know people who live in townhouses, 3-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, paying $1,100. Where is the equity in that? This is total madness, total craziness. So I don't know what I might do by Friday. I honestly don't know.
And you have to be careful. One of the reasons I picked those excerpts to share is because Aka Samaru from CNC3 asked him, is the bill going to come back? Is the bill going to come back? Is the clause going to come back with the cap increased? And the Attorney General said he's not going to preempt cabinet discussion. So it will come back, guys.
He could have given a definite no.
He didn't say no. He never said no. He never said no. And the writing is on the wall. The writing is on the wall. It will come back. It will come back. The cap may change.
Yep.
The cap may change, but it will come back. The cap may also go lower if we elect them for another 5 years. If we elect them for another 5 years. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the sad truth of it. That is the sad truth of it. Now, thankfully, we were able, I don't know, the flip-flopping. They look at it, they say they're going to lose votes, and they start to flip-flop. Donna Cox said it was never her intention after she defended the bill. AG say, well, he was out of the country, he didn't read it, he might have read it, he didn't see the clause, I don't know, all of these. Some public servant, I don't know, some public servants sneak in with a ski mask, wearing all black, in the middle of the night, and go on in the computer and type in the clause. A public servant, some poor public servant going to be the scapegoat in all of this. Some public servant sneak in the dead of night, the night before it was laid in Parliament, and type in the clause, and all the ministers in cabinet, she highlighted with invisible ink because all of them read the bill and didn't see it. That's what they're telling us, and we expect to believe that and eat it up.
I think now is a good time to take some calls and hear what our viewers have to say about what we discuss in its entirety tonight, or this last topic, I think, which is of so relevant. Anything you all want to talk about, we're going through with it.
Yes, of course. Of course. Oh, you want to take the break before we open the phone lines? Let's take the last break, because we get both last time for not giving all the breaks.
We only have about 15
well, it's not my
minutes.
fault. It have plenty things to talk about, you know.
Well, we have 15 minutes. I think we should, seeing that this is a day, might be the last program, I think we should give the viewers a extra tonight.
Yeah, while that happens, let me just recap, you know, failure in the public health sector, failure in some of the hospitals. Guys, I think I sent, we do have a call on the line. Let's take the caller.
Hello, good night, caller.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, gentlemen.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I believe I might be the only person who call every station and complain about Julia Davy. Mr. Jagesa, incitement is a criminal offense. I researched it. And she should be held accountable for that statement. When Ravi B comes second to the so-called chutney competition, he didn't like the idea that he comes second. And he tell the crowd, if you don't like the result, throw something on stage. And everybody fell a water bottle and whatnot and thing. And he was taken to task for incitement. Why Juliet Davy was allowed to get away? One.
Davy.
Two. Davy or Davy?
Yeah.
Same person. And the second point is, the fire officers who allowed the ministers to go in that supposed to be a crime scene. Nobody except the fire officers should be allowed to go in. No minister, not the prime minister, not the president, nobody but the fire officers, because they are trained to investigate, not the ministers. Suppose a beam or a wall would fall while they was inside it, and all other ministers would get killed. They would have looked for that. Sorry to say, but they would have looked for that. Lo and behold, a fire broke out again in the same building. And the fire services had to come and out, the embers catch up and whatnot. Suppose it had happened while they was inside it. So whoever gave them permission to go inside it should be suspended or fired. All the best. Have a great evening.
Yeah, man.
Good night, caller. Yes. We have another caller. That's another caller, guys. Yeah, let's take the caller.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening.
Wa alaikum assalam.
You all are now finding out who our AG is. He is the man who went to Guyana to prove a lower number and an upper number is equal, so that the opposition can win the election. But people like Mia Motley and the United States picked it up and chased them out of Guyana. He was the man who went in the case in the U.S. and say he was a senior clerk. He was not a senior lawyer. They kicked him out from the case, and the government had to put back Al-Rawi to finish the case. Now he's saying this is an error. If nobody had picked it up, it would not have been an error. And it's the same thing he did in a case in court when it was proved
that he was lying. Okay? Thank you very much.
Yes, caller.
All right, caller. Yes, caller. Good night. The last comment about proven that he was lying, we can't endorse that. We don't have any confirmation, any finding of fact from any judge. Everything else, caller, I believe was your opinion, and you may have something to support it. But the last one, I have to say, IBN does not endorse it.
Hello. Good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Good night. Good night. How are you, sir?
Good. 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 You go ahead.
I know. We were talking about the pension. Next year, come and talk about the pension. I get 20 young about that pension. According to my brother here, telling my son was to go away. He was to leave a little money for me to see about the workers and want to put little my account in the bank. They want to know how I get all this money, how they start my son going over, depending on the amount of money. For me, so when he come back, I just hand it to him. Well, the amount of what I get from my pension, do like that, to go by term. Paper, you have to go and sign paper, you have to go and sign this. This country are working good at all. And they're working good at all. I'm glad this pension again, but I have to get some.
Well, you know what you have to do when the country not doing well. What you have to do with the present regime that have the country in the state that it's in. What we have to do with them?
Well, it's half of it standing up and half of it sitting down.
Well, boy, you have to try and get the rest of them to stand up.
Well, I try my best. Yeah, I try. So what about my brother? I have seen him pretty long as well.
Who is that?
The boss man.
The boss man?
Yeah.
Well, the boss man coming along. He coming along fine. I asked him to come on the program tonight, but he said he find we doing a good job. So he need a little rest.
Yes, I think I'm going to do a good job. Very good.
Right, so maybe,
okay,
who knows?
I'll have to tell me when I get back better.
Who knows? You don't know. You might see him here next week.
He's a good man. He's a good man. He likes to stand up for you, right?
Correct. And that is what we as citizens have to do. We can't depend on him. We have to do that ourselves. Right?
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. You have a good night.
Look, before we take next caller, while we here, there's a robbery in Tobago, Coop's car wash robbery. I just sent them the video.
A car wash.
A car wash getting it in Tobago. We quote in Tobago robbery, Couva house breaking, St. Augustine kidnapping. It's ridiculous. Guys, let me know when the video is up. It's short.
Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good night.
Yes, good night, sir.
According to Sanjay,
let's hear you.
They talk about the pension who have built houses and they put it in the parents on other people's name and things. Sinanan Farah, this is birthday Sinanan, used to get pension.
And was he a contractor?
No, the minister right now for roads and transport. His father used to get pension.
Right.
He put all the buildings, all the things on the training.
So he will be able to collect a government pension.
He used to be getting, he used to, but he died, he passed. But he used to be getting pension.
Okay. All right.
Well, don't worry. They get stopped in their tracks at this point in time. But jump high or low, they will be coming back with this. They will be coming back with this.
Yeah, they will be coming back. But what I'm saying, you live from 1 year to 65 years and you must own nothing in life.
That's it.
You must know
That's
nothing.
the point.
Nothing you must
own nothing. You must be like a slave.
Correct. You mustn't have any savings. You mustn't have any property because they come in to tax it. You mustn't have any inheritance. You mustn't leave in any inheritance for your children. They come in with inheritance tax.
None of them in tax and digging. I have property. I have apartments. I have land. I have different things. And I pull nothing. Nobody never even come by me. And I ain't think I have intention of pulling anything.
Correct. You just do what is right.
Yeah, I ain't pulling nothing. You have to put me to court.
All right, sir.
Yeah, okay. Have a good
night. Man.
Yeah, we have another caller.
Hello, good night.
So if in the meantime, you can pull up the front page of the sunshine in the background. Oh, I think we lost that caller. He probably was waiting too long.
Hello?
Oh,
yes,
you
sir.
can pull up the...
Yeah, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, go ahead.
guys doing a great job. I'm sure Sean will be proud of you.
Yes, ma'am.
I want a short contribution. I think the Minister of Public Utilities need to be investigated because at 4:30 he knew a fire was going to take place at 5:30.
That
he
is
was an hour before.
That is Mr. Marvin Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's the same point
That's
you make,
right.
Uncle Nazim.
How what happened? 4:30 he called WASA and the fire took place 5:30. How we do that an hour before?
Well, the man have real vision. He had real vision.
Okay, that's about it. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, let's play the video, guys, of another criminal element on the.
Okay, caller, just.
Caller while the video plays, right? It has no sound, right, Saif? Let's get the caller while the video is playing.
Yes, caller. Good evening. Hello.
Yeah, Nizam, good night.
Hey,
good night.
Charlie Boy. Good evening, sir.
How you good, man? You good?
Good. How things treat? How your government treating you?
Yeah, well, I can't complain. The government is wanted, so the government gets it all. People only get what they want, you know.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, right? I have two things to talk about tonight. Concerning this whole house fire with this minister and thing, let me tell you something, right? That should be an eye-opener to the people in Parliament who feel they're above everybody, who sitting down and watching down at everybody. That should be an eye-opener to these people. Here what's going on. Everybody, there's bleed and everybody get dead.
Right.
I feel some of the ministers crying because it finally hit them in their brain, hey, we get dead enough. You know what I mean? So, let it be an eye-opener now. And to this whole thing, where they blaming Hines and saying that, oh, if they had this, if they had that, let me tell you something, right? When that time comes, nobody could save it and nobody could help you. When that time comes, it comes. Talk done. As opposed to this old age pension we're talking about here, right? This minister that's talking about old people shouldn't have 25,000 and more, whatever. Let me tell you something. If you remember a couple of years ago, it had some big corruption where 30-something-year-old people was getting old age pension and they come and they bust that mark. A couple of years ago, people had a whole ring of corruption running inside our social development office, that ministry, where people were getting pension, they were 30-something, 40-something years. And then they come now, after the COVID, when the COVID was going on, you remember it had certain people who, like 5 people living in a house and everybody getting a grant in a house. You can remember what was taking place
Yes.
in social development during the COVID?
Yes, they
So
had a
she
lot
shouldn't
of.
come and talk about people who work hard and sacrifice to build this country. Let me tell you something. You see sick people and old people, the elderly, you don't take advantage of people. If you can't help them, you don't hurt them. That is the logic. You don't interfere with the elderly people because them is the people that sacrifice to build this nation, to put them where they is. You understand? And let me tell you something. Plenty of the people right now have their parents' name in their bank account and all kind of thing. Because if somebody die, you know how much trouble you have to go through.
Correct.
You have to prove this and all kind of things to
Correct.
get that money from the bank.
Correct.
You know what problem that is? So people now just put their parents who don't have a wife, who don't have a husband, just put their parents' name in their account. So if anything happens to them, their parents can access the money without doing a probate.
Correct.
So them need to get it act together and understand how the people on the ground just try to survive under this dotations are taking place. And let me tell you something, the AG talking about an error. Let me tell you something, the finance minister say he make an error and $2.6 billion gone missing. Fellas, good night.
Yeah,
Enjoy the
man.
night, enjoy the week.
Okay, cool, man. You too.
Yeah. You see, Donna Cox is not catering for the people who children care about them and have their names on bank account. I'll make the point quick. She's catering for the people who have less than $1,000 in the bank, who apparently live pension to pension. That's what she's catering for. That when she was defending the bill, not 12 hours ago, when she was defending the bill still, so she catering for a certain catchment of people. She's not catering for the people Charlieville was talking about. She's not catering for the people who have savings, who have children who care about them. She's not catering for those people like you and I. Let's take the other caller.
Hello, good evening.
Okay then.
Yeah, go ahead. Hello?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yes, good evening.
Well said, Charlieville, well said. Okay, first of all, any life that is lost, especially in such a gruesome way, is very sad. So condolences to the family. But I want to add that for many years, fire officers have been pleading for better equipment. I mean, I don't know if many of you would have seen that video with a fire officer falling out of the truck and all that nonsense, right?
Correct.
So, and it fell on deaf ears. And what about all those people who died, those 8 family members in Maraval? I mean, so to have the MPs coming outside after the fire is pure PR that was taking place. Because people are forced to put burglar proof in their homes, all over the house. There was lack of water, from what an eyewitness testified, poor equipment, and all that. When you put it together, that loss of life falls squarely on the shoulders of those MPs who were parading outside that MP's home. And to rub salt on the wound, do you know what some of those MPs did later on that night? They went prancing at Paramin's Parang, so they could miss me with their hypocrisy. Right? Also, you know, sometimes on many of these platforms, it is often said that people are afraid to come out and talk, and there is good reason for this. Many people are victimized, and as such, many people in this nation suffer from something called learned helplessness. And let me tell you what learned helplessness is. It is a mental state that occurs when someone, also animals as well, they suffer from this, when they accept an unpleasant situation and don't try to change it even when they could. So it's like, you know, it's like, for example, an experiment with a dog. A dog could learn not to try to escape if every time he tries to escape, he gets an electric shock. And if finally you remove the electric shock, the dog will not go anywhere. And this is what is happening to our people in this country, where they have been abused and they have been belittled and humiliated. They are victimized, they are bullied, that they have just cowered. So I am praying that people are going to, their eyes are going to open. And with your help, Uncle and Richard Jagisa, hopefully you can empower some of our people to start to think critically, to know that they do not have to accept this level of incompetence. And finally, before I say goodbye, concerning the old age pension, to hear the excuse of quote-unquote a public servant made that error. It was so, it's nothing more than gaslighting. Who they think could accept that cock and bull story? We have had enough of this nonsense. So, miss me with the nonsense. So, good night, gentlemen, and keep on doing a good work. All right, and
yes.
Good night to Uncle Inshan.
Yeah, thank you for your contribution.
You know, miss me with the nonsense.
Yes.
Yeah,
I say so too, but I wonder, when she's saying all this thing about, you know, what people accepting, you know, one person come to my mind? Rowley. That is what he's doing to this nation and the public at large.
Yeah, well, as you say that, I'm reading an article here that says this government for the last 9 years perpetuate the practice, the politics practice of distraction, like the promises of $100 million that was never delivered to fight crime and at-risk communities, another promise of another $100 million to build the PAN headquarters and change the coat of arms and dismantling the SSA without any meaningful changes being laid. The intention of these empty narratives serve no other purpose than to distract the national community away from the surge of crime. Statistics show the PNM constituencies are disproportionately affected by crime. The data shows that it is people of African descent who suffer more. All the figures show that the majority of victims are the supporters of the PNM. This government, therefore, ought to have had a vested interest in reducing crime for its supporters, but it served the interests of its financiers, friends, and all families. I'm quoting from an article, Sunshine Today editorial, and that pretty much sums it up. This PNM administration is an administration of distractions. And what did Auntie call it? Miss me with the nonsense? Yeah, nonsense. Gaslighting, she called it. That's what they are. That's what is happening. All right? So I think we're out of time, or you have...
well, I will just say my 2 cents on before we end, and I'll then hand it over to you. I'd like to remind you all about the flea market at the Baraka grounds from the 20th to the 24th. Come out in your numbers. Also, to let you know, Brilliant will be out at full swing. The staff is all ready for you. Salisha made sure and told me to remind you and talk about the service at Brilliant. Best. So come out and have a good time. Richard, it's all out to you.
In closing, I just say my heart aches, goes out to Zahir Samuel, the 14-year-old boy that was kidnapped. That family needs their child home as soon as possible. No. We do not live in a safe and secure environment when that could just happen. Child snatched off the streets like that. I forgot to ask the very important question after the video was played, where the AG said he was out of the country and there was an acting attorney general. Who was the acting attorney general?
I think, normally when he got the last time, I think Marvin Gonzalez acted as attorney general. I think he did act one time, I could be corrected. I think so. I don't know if he got a second stint.
So we need to find that out as well. Everyone, it is my last show with you all until the end of the year. I will be out of the jurisdiction. That's a smart way for saying I will be right in Tobago, for all you know.
Hey, we could do a Zoom.
No problem with that. No, but end next week Wednesday is Christmas Day.
Yes, that's correct.
And then the Wednesday after is New Year's.
Boy, the way things going in this country, I just forget what date and what festivity it happened. Because you're reading the papers, you're hearing the news, it's sickening.
Yes, it really is. So if I do not see you all before the end of the year, or if I do not see you at Baraka Grounds between the 20th and the 24th, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you and your families. I hope that you've enjoyed our time together at Breaking Barriers. I hope to see you again in the new year or during the festivities.
Wait, you might have to ask if you could come back on the program because you forget what's going on.
No, what's going on?
The man might be back.
Well, okay.
Oh, he got to invite you.
Of course.
No, it was good.
Yes, of course.
You know, an inspiration to the program. And the callers learned a lot from you with all the legal stuff, you know, and otherwise. So I sure they appreciate it. And we'll see you back.
Of course, you have to call me Christmas morning.
As soon as possible.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We rerun, and we rerun on Saturdays. And we are always live on YouTube and Breaking Barriers website. See you soon. See you at Breaking Barriers, and see you next year. Enjoy your night.
Yeah.